One, two, three. Hi, I'm Mel Nelson, not Mel Gibson. Had you fooled, didn't I? Well, listen, I want to try to get through this quickly and give you a little bit of an overview of my life and what's going on. My physical state is very challenged. I've had 11 spinal surgeries, over 26 to 27 total surgeries. You're probably familiar, you've heard of Hulk Hogan. He had 25 and just passed recently. He had about 8 spinal surgeries. I've had 11, and it's been the challenge of my lifetime. What I have surgically implanted is in my left hip, in a wire that goes up to my spinal cord, and this is the remote control that I send additional juice, if you want to call it that, electrical impulses up my spinal cord to my brain when the pain is just overly, how do I say, intolerable. I mean, just you want to scream. It gets pretty bad. But this gives you a view of, the steel and the screws and the plates and the rods in my spine. And then this shows that cord from the surgically implanted device that I mentioned to you, connected to the spinal cord. It's a challenging life, one that I couldn't have imagined. I was always very active, very athletic, and then had the ski crash from hell. It just about took me out. I won't go into the details, but it was really, really ugly. And I didn't have feeling in my legs for about an hour. I thought I was losing feeling in my legs. And, but, God smiled on me and I got that feeling back. And I still walk, although standing is one of the most painful things I do. It's excruciating. And walking slowly is extremely painful. I use trekking poles. You're probably familiar with those. Skiers use them. And when I go to this store, I also use grocery carts that work as my walkers. You've probably seen a few of us in the stores that are kind of bent over. I'm just coming up on my 77th birthday. And I would say, all in all, I've lived an incredibly blessed life, and I'm very grateful. And yet, I'm talking to you today because of the challenges that I have and that I face. I am facing near eviction from where I live. I'm financially destroyed. And that came about, I lived the American dream. I got some backing at a very young age and opened up some businesses, went into the auto business, loved working with people. We were highly noted for our customer satisfaction. And I did my first in Houston, had great success. And then I came back to Denver and I built a couple of the leading operations in the country. As a matter of fact, my Honda operation was number one more than 10 years running and in the Northwest United States, and always usually in the top 5 in the country. But we excelled in customer satisfaction, and that's who I was about. My financial state is destroyed because I chose to, after these incidents, I chose to sell my operations, and I made a bad choice on who I agreed to sell it to. Well-known individual, used to be a quarterback, significant in Denver Broncos, and I was never paid. I mean, I collected nothing, not even a dime. And you're saying, how could that happen? It was the con of a lifetime. And it took nearly 8 years through the legal process to finally get it to trial. And by a jury of my peers, I was awarded unanimous verdict on every claim. I was just, you couldn't believe the con that took place between this broker with John Elway and Generous Motors Corporation, and I took the brunt of it. So anyhow, after the 8 years of this litigation, and I was awarded that jury, I've never collected a dime. I'm sorry if you hear a little rattling of paper. I'll try to keep it down. I right now, presently, am a week out from eviction. I'm grateful for what a wonderful life I've lived. I have two incredible sons. And I was a little older when I had my boys. I was 45 when Sean showed, and then Jordan about 3 years later. So I'm at a point now in my life where I need some backing. I had backing from my businesses. Now I need backing just to kind of stay alive and have shelter. I'm working on 2 books, and I've had great encouragement for those. That's how I want to pretty much wrap up my life. As I say, God is with me, as He is with all of us. God is with me, and I recognize that every moment. I actually do my best using trekking poles or like ski poles, and I go for a walk daily just to be able to move. And with that, I have my daily conversations with God, and they're my blessed moments in life. Social Security doesn't even begin to cover my expenses. My goodness, my insurance, medical insurance, runs about $1,000 a month before any other living expenses, and that's before prescriptions. I have 2 very progressive conditions, medical conditions. One is the adhesive arachnoiditis that compromised my spine from a severe infection. And it really did a number on all the nerve roots that go down to my legs and throughout my body. And the other is, I don't like to use the word, I'll call it vascular D. It's one of the forms, it's the second most common behind Alzheimer's. And you're familiar with that disease. It's progressive, and eventually it takes you out. So I'm in stage 3 of 6 stages, and they get pretty brutal. My sons are noticing some significant impacts on these days. I think I've pretty much gone over what I had to share. 26 to 27 surgeries. My neurologist goes, "Oh my God," as he mentioned it to a fellow neurologist, because they can't believe I've survived through all that. It's pretty hard on the brain. And, any way that you feel you can assist me while I write my books, try to live and get through these dilemmas that I have, I would be more than appreciative. Pretty much, it's a bit of a change for me when I got my funding in for my businesses. And, they say self-made. Well, how about God-made? Anyway, I would appreciate any help that you could contribute. And have a wonderful day. And God bless. Thank you so much.